Good evening, folks. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas. And to wish you all a Happy New Year. Just bear with me while I split my screen so I can see what's going on. And hope everyone is well. It's been a couple of weeks since we last did this, so it was a very quiet week leading up to Christmas, but this week we've had 1,233 views, 5 new subscribers, which is pretty cool. So what you've been watching? Coming at number 3, we had a trip down memory lane from the 29th of December, 58 people. Coming at number 2 was the album review of 2022, 61. But number 1 this week is what was the very first show of 2023, the David Lee Roth album ranking with 106. Hasn't been so busy in the last 28 days, obviously, with Christmas. But we've had 4,796 views in the last 28 days and 18 new subscribers, which is pretty good. The best watch in the last month is coming at number 3, the Strawbs album ranking at 87. The review of the Theory of Molecular Inheritance from Marine is still hanging in there at 90. And topping the charts again, it's David Lee Roth with 106. So the big figures have now had 125,499 views on the channel, and we have now got 613 subscribers. No change in the top 3, Jethro Tull, Derek Riggs, and Status Quo. Last week's Battle of the Bands, and for the first time ever, we have had a dead heat. Same amount of votes for Fish and Marillion, so everybody seemed to have liked both. So it was a tie. Since we last spoke, sadly, we've lost 2 more. Good afternoon, Happy New Year, Mick. Thank you for you say you like the new branding. Sadly, we've lost 2 musicians since we last spoke. On New Year's Eve, we lost one of the Pointer Sisters, Anita, passed away, age 74. And then on New Year's Day, we lost the drummer of Earth, Wind and Fire, Fred White, who was only 67. So that's enough of what's been going on. What have we got for you next week? So next Monday, we start off with part 8 of the Gong story. And we've reached Mother Gong. Interesting one that was. I think out of all the gongs, this is the one I really did struggle with. Classic album review next week. We're going to have a look at Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, and is it as good as everyone made out? I mean, it's sold gazillions, so we'll have a look at that on Monday. Tuesday, album ranking is a band from Australia. It's not AC/DC. They're called The Rich and Famous, and basically, The Rich and Famous is what was left as the band in between Kings of the Suns splitting up and reforming. Retro ranking next week is a bit different. It's you've been asking for soundtracks, and someone came up with Henry Mancini. So we're going to look at some of the soundtracks of Henry Mancini's music. Next week's Wednesday Marathon is a viewer's request, and it's from my mate Gary. Happy New Year to you, Ralph. Marathon Wednesday is from my good friend Gary, and as you know, Gary's not been well, so thought I'd give him a bit of cheer up for the new year. And we're going to do a band that he really likes, and a band I also really like, and that's Showaddywaddy. For those of you that don't live in the UK, Showaddywaddy were a band from the 70s that just did pure rock and roll covers and a few of their own. They're a really good band. I have seen them, and they're good fun. Okay, next week's Battle of the Debuts. We're going to do a bit of thrash metal. We've done one battle of the big four. We did Metallica versus Megadeth, and now we're going to have the other two from the big four, Slayer against Anthrax. A little bit different. Picking next week is a wander down the sidewalk, which means we're going to look at the US top 10 for January the 12th, 1981. We'll be back here next week with the live stream, of course. Then Friday is live album ranking day, and we're going to look at the live albums of the boss, Mr. Bruce Springsteen. And next week, we've got a one-off album, and it's a band from the 70s that made the one album. It's racy, and it's smash and grab. So I have been listening to quite a lot of stuff in the last few weeks. So we'll have a look into what we've been listening to and how far we've got. James Bond, I've now listened to 14 soundtracks. So we're up to A View to a Kill. I should be watching the film this weekend to get myself accustomed back to it, because I haven't watched this one for a little while. Wishbone Ash, we're getting through them now. 11 of the 14. And as you can see, Rocky hasn't lost his voice. He's still there barking away. Manic Street Peter. I'll start again. Blah, blah, blah. Manic Street Preachers. Done 11 of 14. Gary Newman, 9 of the 19. David Bowie, 9 of 26. Focus, 8 of the 11. Renaissance, 8 of 13. Some have come out the laundry list now. Van der Graaf Generator. Portishead, The Cause. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Ash and Godley and Creme. All bands that you guys have asked for. We've completed Charlie Watts, Motley Crue, Colosseum, Diem, and Starship. That was 3 albums, but it was 3 albums of 80s dribble. So that's what's coming up. We have got a Wally of the Week. It's me for missing out an album of 2022 that I didn't review when it came out. And the only reason I know it existed because it was mentioned on SOT, and I thought, oh. So I went and did some research, and I realised that Stryper had released a new album. Now, considering I am a bit of a Stryper fan, I totally missed it. So I'm the Wally of the Week, but don't worry, we will be doing a review of it in a couple of weeks' time. I've only discovered it, so I've only listened to it a couple of times. So yours truly here is Wally of the Week for not paying attention when I should be. So this year, if there's any new albums you guys know that are coming out, let me know. And if you want to think if it's worth a review. As you can see, we've took all the decorations down. It's all a bit bare here in the flat now. So we're back to putting LPs up. So I know Mick's made a comment on the new branding and the new headers and all the new music. So has anyone else that's here got anything to say? Do they think it's okay? Is there anything we need to improve on? Lost. That's called Lost, that lager. From Scotland, apparently. And yeah, so what have we got planned for you in 2023? Well, I know there's going to be another collaboration with Mr. McCook. Good evening, Rob. Happy New Year to you. And we've got that coming up, and I've got a couple of bits lined up with Joe. You never know, there might be something between Richard, Rob, and myself. I'm sure we'll come up with something. If someone wants to say hello, oh, up you come then. Say a happy New Year to everyone, Rob. There we go. Say hello. He had. Do you know what? He had loads of presents of sweets and treats. Mick saying hello to you. I haven't got anything up here. He's come up here on false pretenses. Thinks I've got things for him, but I haven't. Yes. That's it. Sit up like that. That's it. You're going to sit like that. Oh, that was right in my face. He doesn't care though, do you? Yeah, we're coming up with some different retro rankings for this year as well. I'm going to do some worst of as well. Have a bit of fun because we've not got the stinker album covers at the moment. So I'm going to pick a band and I'm going to find their worst songs. Even some of the bands I like. So most of these are the bands I like. So it'll be bands I like, that songs that I just don't like from that band. Also, like today, the Invisible Touch tour. I did manage to find a clip of Afterglow in the Cage. It's not. I think it was from Montreux I chose because the clip from Wembley was done by an amateur, and it sounded absolutely lousy. So I put in a clip that was done at Montreux, which is any good. But as I said on the show, that I think it's about time that came out on Blu-ray, so we can all enjoy it properly. I mean, I've got a copy of it. Oh, that's good to hear, Mick. Because when we hear things from California, the first thing we do is think of you and your good lady, because we know you're out that way. So yes. Anyway, tonight's poll. It's the prog one tonight. Camel or Gentle Giant? Now, I went with Gentle. I went with Camel today because as much as I love both albums, I mean, I think they're both terrific albums. And but I went with Camel because I think the songs on the Camel album have got more structure. It's got Peter Bardens on, who's one of my favourite keyboard players. So you sort of give it to him. I have as well, Stephen. That was done on the Saturday night, I was at the. I think I went on the Wednesday night, which was pretty good. The thing is, the night before, the previous night, we saw Peter Gabriel at the arena, at Wembley Arena, on this would have been the Sledgehammer tour. So I saw practically the whole of Genesis. The only person I haven't seen in Genesis is Steve Hackett, which I must do. It's on my bucket list. But he is coming to Northampton, but they sold out. Ooh. It's true. I mean, you saying about that, Charles, and good evening, Charles. I used to talk to someone from Glasgow quite a lot in one of my jobs, and I couldn't understand a word they were saying. It was like listening to Rav C. Nesbitt, because they don't say J, they say Jai. Yeah, for those, I don't know if anyone's interested in producers. There is a documentary on Sky about Phil Spector. Oh, good, no good listening to BBC. Now, I get accused of being a Londoner. I'm not. I'm born and bred Northampton. We do have some interesting dialect round here. I'm gonna go. That's one of them. And we have this lovely saying. It looks a bit black over Bill's mother's. Does anyone want to have a guess? What that actually means? Dave knows, but I don't know if anyone else knows. It looks a bit black over Bill's mother's. And there's a little village just outside Northampton called Elsbarton. It's where some of my family are from. They don't have alleyways, they have jitties. And they don't take the dog for a walk, they take the Doug for a walk. Oh, well done, Mick. Yeah, storm clouds. Yeah, the always looked a bit black over Bill's mother's. Yeah, they have jitties. Well, they shan't, they can't, and they're gonna. So that's the Northampton dialect. I'm not very good at local dialects. I mean, for Birmingham, you need to listen to Jasper Carrott. For Geordie, listen to Chubby Brown. And you want Manchester, Bolton, Peter Kay. All them idiot brothers from Manchester, the Gallaghers. Yes, he does. I think there's not. I don't think there's many. I don't know if it's not a national thing, but I think we say it down here a lot. But old Bumble. See, there's a Lancastrian accent, and then we got a good person. From Accrington, yeah, he supports Accrington Stanley, doesn't he? Yes, I've got his audio book called "The World According to Bumble," and it's absolutely brilliant. And his favourite beer is mine as well, Timothy Taylor's Landlord. Which when I went out for a drink just before Christmas, it was the Friday before Christmas, went to the local village pub. Because although I live in Northampton, I am in stone's throw of a village. And they run out of Timothy Taylors. How rude. Oh, I didn't know that. He didn't mention that in his book. There we go. Anyway, I'm digressing as usual. Retro rankings, special shows this year. We're going to do a special Eurovision one of all my favourite. I'm going to do two shows. I'm going to do the best Eurovision songs and the worst. I'm going to do the nil point. So we're going to have a bit of theme things. I like it up your neck of the woods, Rob, because it's done properly down here. It's done like that. How they do John Smith's. It's all like beer through a Guinness pump. Anyway, so where was I? Yes, we're going to do Eurovisions. I'm going to do FA Cup songs when the FA Cup's on. Ding dong. And I'm thinking up something to coincide with the King's coronation. So I'm having to think about what can I do that's coronation related or royal related. So rattling my brains around that one. It's all right. He's just sitting there. And the other one I'm doing is children's songs. Certainly going to be a bit more soundtracks as well this year. Just going to mix it up a bit on retro. We've got the usual sort of covers. I think everyone knows most of them. But does anyone know what that one is? Oh, good grief, Rob. But then again, I've got Chas and Dave doing snooker, loopy, nuts on wing. I've seen Alex Higgins sober. Many years ago, does anyone remember when they used to have the World Doubles Championships, Hofmeister World Doubles? They were held at the Derngate, which is in Northampton. So while that tournament was, if you went into town, you'd bump into so many of the snooker players. I've seen Jimmy White, Steve Davis. I've seen them all. And my friend and the compere for 1 year was my acting friend, Mark Warren. He was the compere, or did something in the thing. You can go better than that. Oh, gold. Go on, then. What's Dave going to surprise us with? It's probably something I know. Excellent. Of course, we've got a birthday top 10 to do this week that was asked on that night I went out just before Christmas. My mate Tony, it's his birthday on Saturday. So he asked, can you do me a top 10? And I said, yes, I can. So if any of you guys that I haven't got your birthdays, if you want to drop me an email, I'll add you to the list, because we've got a list of all your birthdays. So as I said, once you've done your birthday, people like Charles and Mick and myself, when it comes around for our birthdays again, we'll get when we were 10 years old and we started to appreciate music. I know we've got Richard's coming up in February, and then we haven't got one till June when it's Dave's. So if you want to get or any of your relations, okay, there we go. What was the thing that happened in the Nick Cave? I'm not going to say what happened, because I am putting together, like all good people, I'm going to do a bloopers show at the end of the year. And what happened is in the blooper. And I'm not going to tell you because it's one of the best ones ever. Dave knows about it because I've spoken to him about it. But what I did forget to do is I had to stop. I stopped recording and went back, and I forgot to put that back. So first bit of it is with that open, and then that bit flump back. And yes, it was. It's quite funny. I've decided how I'm gonna do that. If you remember, it'll be all right on the night. I'm gonna do it in that sort of vein. So it's something that I can work on through the year. There's already one with Rocky. Rocky will probably be a few little blips now. Yes, thing. I haven't had any backlash from Nick Cave because I did slate some of them a bit off. Yes, I have found some bits of Rocky saying about that, and I will put up a little thing. A lot of people there's been a lot of Beatles at the number one in the 60s, except me. I got Jim Reeves. Blooming Jim Reeves. I can't believe that. Jim Reeves. But as I said, my nan was pleased. And I'm not going to say too much, but I think Rocky is settled now because he's got in his bed where he's, when I'm recording during the day, where he sits. Oh, you got Ken Dodd. Yeah, Ralph got Ken Dodd. Hopefully, Ralph, when it comes to our 10 years birthdays, we should have a decent number one. You did Sound of Silence. I think Becky got a Beatles. I can't remember what Becky had. Yeah, my friend Abby's was Robson and Jerome. Oh, I couldn't stand that. They used to, as I said on Abby's video, they just stand there on top of the pop looking like a pair of wet kippers. Stick to acting. That was it. The song that I didn't like. I believe. Oh, yeah. I think that was number one on Abby's. In fact, I can tell you. in this one. Yes. So it was roughly the same time. Now, I like, yeah, November 95. Yeah, that's when she was born. Yes, my sort of, the person that sort of approved the new branding. I did put one colour in, and she just said she I won't say what she. Oops, sorry, I've dropped something. I won't say what she called me because it was quite. Yes, she calls a spade, and so anything that I change, I put like that. When I went on to Redbubble to update and put the new logo stuff up, I noticed that you can buy, in my sort of thing, what things you can get with my logos on. You can get dog bowls. I'm slightly tempted to do one especially for Rocky. With the RTO logo on it and something like the boss. Yeah, that was yeah, Oh So Quiet was in the charts. Really good song that is. And I like that Everything But the Girl. That's terrific. The obstinate, yeah. That'd be interesting. Bog roll with my little logo on it. Yeah, yeah. You could get it. They've done some really nice things for the dogs. Little bandanas. So I actually had my first payment from Redbubble just before Christmas. So people are buying, which is good. I know Mick's got some stuff. So if you fancy a t-shirt or a mug, go over to Redbubble. Go and check out what I've designed. All goes to a good cause. I bet I could get, if I can. I'll tell you what, Rob. If I can, if I can find somewhere that does printed loo roll, I'll do you one. I'll get you one done and get it sent to you, just for the just for the sheer hell of it. And it's a bit of fun. Yes. Oh dear. Yeah, you wasn't on Rob when I said what we're doing next week. I'm going to be doing a one-off album review on Race's Smash and Grab. When I remember having that when I was young, it was a brilliant. I loved it, and when I put it on again, not so long ago, I thought, oh dear, it's not as good as I thought it was. Things have changed. I mean, when that come out, what would I have been? What, 12, something like that? But I won't go too much into detail, but it'll spoil the show. But that's the one with Mickey, but it's called Kitty. Yeah. Didn't do a carrot for them, but they gave it to Tony Basil. And, well, the rest is history, isn't it? Yeah, I looked at it as it's quite a nostalgic album, really. Oh. Looking forward to the next week after next retro 60s band, and I like that's one of the things. Yeah, Layer Your Love on Me. Yeah, it's my favourite, one of my favourite tracks. That is. Got that on single and Some Girls. I'll tell you what I did watch. I found it on YouTube. A Suzi Quatro concert. Done. Couldn't have been too long ago. It was an amateur filmed it, and the sound's pretty good. And she's doing Can the Can. And what she does to start with, she goes up with the drummer and they play the drums on it. It's absolutely brilliant. And that's another person we will be doing a bit more on in 2023. Suzi Quatro. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it, Rob? It's an excellent clip. Blah blah blah. There. I've only had half a glass of beer today. Yeah, it's an excellent clip. So yeah, I'm gonna rank the Suzi Quatro albums. I think, which is not on the list, so Dave will be starting to panic. 50-50. Oh, this is going to be a tight one. Camel are winning it in here, so at the moment I'd say Camel. I haven't checked Twitter or Facebook yet. I do, Rob, if I finish recording, because 9 times out of 10, when that's on, I'm recording. But when I do listen to it, I sometimes get a bit flustered when people don't know answers. Talking of that, I was going through some clips today. Just random stuff on YouTube. And this guy was in, I don't know which college in America. And he asked the students about Pearl Harbor. And none of them could tell you when it was, where Pearl Harbor is, and who attacked Pearl Harbor. That's quite frightening. Oh, excellent. You'll have to let us know, Rob. Anyway. Yeah, this is Mick. I can't believe Americans don't know about when Pearl Harbor was, what date it was. I think he asked one guy and he knew everything. It's just, I know. It's like when people over here, when they go, youngsters do quiz shows over here in the UK. Oh, it baffles me. Yeah, going back to now significant dates. When you live in the UK, 1066, Battle of Hastings, 1805, Battle of Trafalgar, and 1815, Battle of Waterloo. Okay. I did it at school, World War II and for World War One. I actually watched the Netflix version, talking of war films, of All Quiet on the Western Front over Christmas. although the actual battle scenes are brutal, that is war, I thought the rest of the film was pretty weak. And Magna Carta 1215, I forgot that one. Well done, Stephen. Yes, and you're right. Iron Maiden are getting stamps. Yeah. Yeah, and people don't know that British history either. I don't think they don't really seem to be bothered with it. Oh, I love history. Doomsday War. Oh, Mr. Norris, man of many talents. Battle of the Boyne, 1690. Now get me right. Is that where we went? That I'm talking to Dave now. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, that was an intro. That was a nice, quite an historic place, standing in the fields where that happened. Yeah, I learned a lot about the First World War at school. I've actually been to the. I have been to the some of the trenches. And I've also been to where the carriage where they signed the ceasefire. Been there as well. And I've been to Normandy. I've been to St Mary Église. And I've been to Juno Beach. So, yeah. I have been to a few places of significant. Oh, and I've been to Ypres. Best war film. My favourite's Das Boot. Yeah, I'm with Charles. Das Boot. Oh, that's one place I want to go, Mick, Pearl Harbor. Well, many years ago, back in former life, used to work in a care home, and I used to look after a guy that was part of Lord Lovett's troop. Kelly's Heroes is brilliant. The Cruel Sea is brilliant. Escape to Victory. Well, you gotta like it because it's got the great Pele in. I've got there's a story. I mean, I think it's like an old joke, but this is actually true. Another guy I used to look after. He used to drive tanks, and after the war and that, he did go back to Germany on holiday, and he got talking to the locals, and he did. I'm surprised he didn't get into trouble for this, but they said, "Have you been to Germany before?" And he went, "Oh yeah, I've been to Germany before." "What did you see? And what did you think?" He says, "Well, I didn't see much because I was looking out of a little hole like that." And then the penny dropped that he was actually in a tank. Yeah, I like Where Eagles Dare as well. Yeah, I like that. But what I like about Das Boot, it's actually filmed in sequence, because they don't, they all start off clean shaved, and they didn't shave. They just filmed it as their beards were growing, and yeah. Saving Private Ryan, it's all right. I like the classic ones, but I'll tell you what one I do like, and it's one of the new ones, Operation Mincemeat. Absolutely brilliant. I've got the book as well. I mean, I haven't got it on. I'm waiting for it to come out on Blu-ray. I don't know if it's out yet, but I shall get that on Blu-ray. I've got The Man That Was Never Was, which is the 50s version of it. And another of my favourite war films is The Dam Busters. I mean, when I did that top 20 war films, they're some of my favourite war films. 633 Squadron, yeah. When I was doing research for that, apparently I found out that people, when it's been on telly, they actually phone up the archives, wherever they are, and ask, can they tell them about 633 Squadron? And they get a bit upset when they say never existed. We never had a 633 Squadron. I've been to Scampton, where the Dam Busters were based. And I've been to Biggin Hill. But I'm lucky, where I live here in Northamptonshire, there was a secret airstrip here in Northamptonshire. And it's where the carpetbaggers used to fly from, and all the spies. And that is about 6 or 7. I'd say it's about 10 miles or so from where I am. And it's they've still got where the runway is, and used to have B-17s take off from there. I watched Lawrence of Arabia the other night. And you, Rob, speak to you soon. Take care, mate. Yeah, I watched Lawrence of Arabia. Now, the version I've got it in a nice presentation pack, and it comes in 2 parts. So I watched part 1, and as the sort of intermission one, I made myself a cup of coffee, sat back down in front of and watched the second half. That's a good film. Yeah, so the bit. Oh, excellent. See, just down the road from us as well is Bletchley Park. And the last time I went there, I've been 2 or 3 times. I always go and try and look for Hut 33. And for those of you going, what's Hut 33? Hut 33 is a radio comedy series. Yeah, I always go and try and find Hut 33. Go and find Minka. That is a comedy program that should have been made into a TV series, because it's absolutely hilarious. I don't know if it's still available. I mean, Yes, I've got it, the whole lot. I don't know if it's still on disc. You can still get it, but it's if you ever get a chance, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant comedy series. Oh yeah, I forgot you lived at Bletchley Park. It's now a museum. A lot of Americans go there in the summer. They always seem to. Bletchley Park. Well, I got mine off. I got mine from eBay actually. There's someone. I don't know where they get. They do loads. I've got loads, and they're reasonably priced. I think the whole series of there's 3 series of 33, and I think I paid £5 for a disc, and it's got all the episodes on it. I mean, I got all my Hancocks from there, my Goons. Yes. There's no one there. No one there, Rob. Here he comes. Doesn't know what he wants. I don't know. Have I read many Dickens novels? Yeah, I've read The Usual Suspects, Christmas Carol. Yeah. Yeah, Minka is a terrific character. I did watch over Christmas that Sky Christmas Carol. It wasn't too bad, but the best bit of that was the Ghost of Christmas Past. But actually, the 2 guys that do a Morecambe and Wise. Like a new album I think I've got that one down, but I will write it down, Stephen. Thank you. Yeah, there are some good. I've found quite a few good albums coming out this year. If you bear with me, I'll give you a quick run through of what's coming out this year. Let's do that. I'm trying to multitask here. And these are what Dave and I found the other night. Yeah, we got some good ones. 20th of January, the new Black Star Riders album's out. 27th got Smashing Pumpkins Act 2, but we will be looking at Act 1 that again come out last year that I didn't know about. And the one that I'm looking forward to so much in January is a new album from the Mighty Heap. Yeah, we've got Iggy Pop, Every Loser comes out tomorrow. Stevie Vai's got an album coming out. John Frusciante of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Shania Twain's got an album coming out. March, we've got The Answer, Metallica. Smashing Pumpkins. I've got another album, Actum Act 3. Yes, I do. I think they're pretty cool. John Cale, Anthrax, got an album coming out. Guns N' Roses. Now there's one. Judas Priest, King Diamond, Manowar, Merciful Fate, Needed Strauss, Overkill, Jethro Tull, Robert Plant, Peter Gabriel, ZZ Top, Mammoth, the Wolfgang, Aerosmith. Don't know what they're coming out with. Europe, Depeche Mode, PJ Harvey, Michael Stipe from REM. PJ Harvey's got an album coming out. You're probably right. And it'll probably cost them $1 trillion to make. And when we get it, it'll be probably a pile of poo. And a band that I've not heard from for many, many years is a band called Helix. Now, Helix, there used to be a jukebox in one of the pubs I used to drink. And they used to have hair metal, dirty metal, and Helix come under naughty metal. Stained have got a new album coming out as well. Steve Wilson, Dream Theater, Accept, The Killers. And I don't know how true this is, but there is rumours that there's going to be an album from the Alice Cooper Band. I'm keeping my eye on that. And I've heard rumours as well that Sparks are going to be releasing an album as well. Yeah, it'll be a busy month, Stephen, for January. I'll be all the ones I've mentioned will be reviewed. I'm going to try and do more new album release is on the Friday after they've come out. I'm going to have a really purge this year. Surprise, yeah, I've heard that as well, Mick, which I will get because my copies are a bit dodgy as they're on CD. Put it this way, they're on CD, but they're not proper CDs, if you get my drift. So I will be getting that. Because there's one album I haven't got at all. And it's the one that Pete Golby sings on, and it's a pretty good album. Yeah, Dora Pesh from Warlock. She's got an album coming out as well. Fear Factory, Testament, one of these old bands. Ace Frehley. So I think Nightwish, and there's looks like also a band that's a classic band. MC5 rumored. The other rumor is The Kinks, a brand new studio album from The Kinks. Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a draw again this week, Charles. Well, Extreme. And another rumoured album is a new album from Bad Company. I've heard that it's Simon Kirke, Paul Rogers, and they've got Harold Lees, the ex-guitarist of Heart, is involved as well. I don't know who the bass player is, but there's this rumor they are working on new material. So I am looking for that. And Extreme. Be good to hear Extreme again. And there's an album from the Last in Line, which is a band that features ex-members of Dio. Of course, the DVD, the new DVD of Dio's out as well, which is on YouTube. But when they mention heaven and hell, it all goes quiet. So don't bother watching it. Just going to have to buy it, and I will do a review on it when I get it. Yeah, I should do reviews on new DVDs, as you know, music DVDs that come out as well. Going to try and do a lot of things, and also a new album from the Northampton band Empire. That reminds me, they told me to contact them in January. I'm trying to sort something out because they're actually playing in Northampton in March, so I might ask them. And I said I'll see if I'll do a review on their gig. Yeah, I did Budgie ages ago. It is on YouTube, Ralph, but when they mention anything to do with heaven and hell, YouTube in their wisdom have blocked everything out. I think there's a copyright thing on it. There is here. So I'm going to go and buy it. Well, I've got the book. Oh, the clip I did see was a brilliant one of Mick Wall, the best mullet I've ever seen, playing pool with Ronnie James Dio. I watched an interesting one on Deep Purple, and I think it was done on recorded when they did the Masters and Slave, because there's no Ian Gillan on it at all. They've all got, I mean, John Lord's still got hair and brown hair. Ian Pace has got black perm sort of hair. Richie Blackmore looks about 10. Yes, I watched that. He's got some good albums there. I was impressed with his Marvel, I won't say toys because that's I haven't spoken to Joe since Christmas, Charles. I'm going to drop him an email this week. So I must drop an email to Richard as well, because we're going to be doing our favourite albums of the 70s, number one albums of the 70s, and I've actually put my list together now. So yeah, I am going to mention it to him, Charles. Hang on, something just come through. Anything interesting? No, not at all. Well, that's the first live stream of 2023 done. We'll close the poll. And it's a dead heat. There's still so votes split. It was very difficult to split though, wasn't it, folks? So it's hard when you've got two albums that you like. I don't know how next week's will go. Bit of thrash metal. Anyway, tomorrow, what have I got for you tomorrow? Well, we're going to do the live album ranking is a tribute to Christine McVie. So we'll be looking at the live albums of Fleetwood Mac. And we've got part 7 of the Gong Story tomorrow, and it's the one-off album Gong Maison. Another one-off offshoot type album. And then don't forget on Saturday, Tony's birthday, top 10. So have a good week, everybody. And I will see you all next week. So goodbye. I hope the weather stays well in California for you, Mick. And send my regards to the good lady. And I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.